Okay, this is for all of you that have one of these ions or cobalts or HHRs or G3s or something that have that bad control arm bushing problem, that the rear control arm button bushing on the front lower control arm, the rear bushing fails. I don't know, the metal comes out of the metal or something. Just stupid design. This is all for you. So chock your wheels, put your car in neutral. Don't bother buying the bushing, removing the ball joint which is riveted on. Don't even bother with that baloney. You will not, that's not going to work right. That's just you're not going to be able to do that at home unless you have an arbor press or something stupid. So just buy the whole control arm. It's $80 online from a reputable place. That's worth it, trust me, because the bushing's like 20 bucks or the ball joint's like 40 if, let's say, the ball joint's bad, and then you got to change that too. So forget that. Just get the whole control arm. Obviously jack the car up, take the tire off. You know the deal. There's a strong part of the frame right where you see my jack. You look under, you'll see there's like a double thing, and it's right next to the frame. Loosen the tire first, of course. And the sun gives us the perfect angle now to look at our failed bushing. Sun gives us the perfect angle to look at our failed bushing. It's you can see the control arm is down. There's the bushing. Control arm is falling down and is touching the frame right there. And the bushing's failed up there. Use phone books. The yellow book's perfect to protect your frame from the thicker steel. Use another jack for safety. Don't just rely on your jack. Use at least 2 things to hold the car up. I got my breaker bar with this little length of $2 pipe. I think everything's either SK or Craftsman here, even though I have the converter 3/8 to 1/2 for the breaker bar over the 13/16. I think this is going to work just fine. I don't know what it is in millimeters, but a 13/16 is what fits on the bolt with the bad bushing. That's the first bolt maybe you want to loosen up. And there you are, getting that bolt out. Just leave it loose for now till you loosen up everything else. These look to be 15 millimeter. I'm hoping they are. These are 15 millimeter for this part of the bushing. And they're not as tight, obviously, so just watch that boot. I got to be careful here for the CV joint. For this side, you may need a little extension. Just leave it loose again. Now we're going to do the ball joint. Watch the sway bar link here. Also a known point of failure with these cars, as is the fuel pump that cracks, the power steering module that fails, and you're all aware of this. For the ball joint, which is not self-tapped, I'll give GM credit. Everything else we looked at so far was self-tapped, which makes life easy. You don't have to have 2 wrenches, but for the ball joint, we want a 15 millimeter on this side. You can't fit a deep ball socket there, it hits the steering knuckle. And for your ratchet, I'm running a 5/8. I don't know what it is in metric, but I got a 5/8 on it. Can't have my other hand on the wrench here because I'm trying to film, so you get the idea. Shouldn't be hitting the disc really. There's your end bolt from the ball joint, and pull the bolt out and see how we got to whack that thing to make it come out now. I don't know if on the side or on top, we'll have to figure it out. Well, that was easy. It looked like on top worked just fine. So, watch that brake line. And you can see it's out. And the bolt on the where the bad bushing is a piece of cake. Now you can get in here with a small ratchet and finish these off, because you know there's not much pressure on them. And now the whole arm just pulls right out. And there's your bolt and bushing. Failure in GM's part. Terrible failure. This should never happen. The rubber should be sealed from the top and the bottom so it can't pop out like that, and it's really kind of not a good thing. That's it. Like I said before, it's good to replace the whole arm. This ball joint's not exactly tight. The rubber actually feels like what's keeping me from moving it more than actually being in the joint itself. So don't be cheap about it. Try to shear these rivets and everything, and just replace the whole arm with the 2 bushings in it, and you'll find your life is easy. This has not been hard at all. Putting the new arm on the old arm, it looks like it is the right part. Again, I don't think the new ball joint has a grease fitting. Of course it doesn't. That's the way it is today. Now, to get the new arm in, you may have to pry a little bit over here where that bad bushing was. Slightly. That's okay. I pry with a small tool on the bottom of the frame here. But that's all right. It's not going to hurt it. It's flexible and pops right back. You got to remember, this whole assembly moves, which will make your life easy. The disc and the steering knuckle, but you don't want to pull it out too far because you can mess up the CV joint. I think a lot of them aren't actually pressed and they just sit in a bunch of pin bushings, and if that assembly pulls out, you got a huge hassle. So you don't want to pull too far, and of course once you get the ball joint in like this, and these are about lined up, about to bolt them in, you know, then you're safe. This is kind of a hassle to get in, but you'll do it, and the hardest one to line up seems to be the joint that went bad. The ball joint goes in pretty easy. I haven't bolted it in yet. Maybe these 2 over here, what I'm trying to do is just get those in a place first, and then I think it'll all kind of line up if I get those in a place. So I'm going to try that, and I'm bolting those in right now. So I snug these down on the center bushing. The button bushing still isn't lined up yet. Maybe it's getting a little closer. And I'm going to put the ball joint in now and see if that lines things up a little better. Then maybe we can get the button bushing in. Putting the ball joint in. I don't know how far you have to bang with this type. I'm used to the crown type. I don't know about these. I'll have to figure out when that groove is in there so the bolt will grab. I think that's just about it, probably. I'll find out. And I'm going to put the bolt in. Okay, secret was to bang it and then slip the bolt in while the groove was there, or kind of hold it up. And after you get that final bang, you'll be able to see the groove is available for the bolt to pass through, and then slip the bolt through. And now I'll put the other side on and just snug it slightly, and then try to get the button bushing lined up. Okay, here's the secret of getting it to line up. Get the bolts in over here, and you can't see from it, that front bushing. Get the ball joint in, just snug them a little bit. In fact, leave those bolts kind of loose for the front bushing. Ball joint just snug. Then you actually have to put the tire back on. Let the car down, and then finagle with this. Crowbar it a little bit, you can see there, and plus just got something in there and in the hole there, and now the hole lines up so that. And of course, now that you've let it down, and we lined up the bolt, you can get this final bolt in, and that is a big hassle. But I saved you a lot of time by telling you, you have to get front bushing in first, ball joint in first, then kind of let this one just be where it is and let the car down and play with it. And you'll hear it click into place once the car is down. Of course, make sure the wheel's on securely, because you're half under the car, and there you go. So, all right. In. Pretty snug for now. I'm going to take the wheel off again and tighten it again. Actually, this one could probably tighten up pretty good right here. And I'm going to put a longer handle on that in a minute. Okay, tighten up these. I'm making a video of this because no one has a video of this. Now I'm going to tighten the ball joint.
That's it, you're done. Your new control arm's in. And all a day's work. All finished up. Thanks for watching.